Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We're about to get this thing kicked off. This is Microsoft Planner Basics, so we're here to help you manage tasks and projects effectively. This is a 101 kind of webinar on this topic, so we're not going to go terribly deep into anything, but we're going to cover a lot of broad strokes. So really excited to get into this webinar today. There really aren't a lot of housekeeping items. You know, obviously, some things that I'll call out are we do have a Q&A section, so please feel free to ask any questions along the way. If they're relevant to any talking points, please note that there is about a 30-second delay between our presenting and what you're seeing. So we'll try to pick those up along the way and have a couple of stopping points to address questions. There will also be a full Q&A at the end of the webinar to address anything maybe we didn't get to. We will deploy a survey tomorrow after today's event to kind of gauge you know, how you like the webinar, if you got what you wanted out of it, etc. But also if there's any other questions that we didn't get to, that might be a good opportunity to reach back out to us. So a little bit about SWICKtech. There might be some folks in the room that work with us, that know of us, that have maybe seen some of our branding and marketing. There might be some in the room that have never heard of us and have no idea who we are. We are a team of about 30 employees. Most of us at the company are technical in nature, and this photo is maybe a little bit dated now, but we have not been able to be this close to each other in quite some time. So, you know, we'll pluck ourselves out of this audience. My name is Eric. I'm one of our client success associates, and right next to me in the photo is Shane, who will be presenting on the topic. SWICKtech is traditionally a managed service provider, and we help businesses run their IT, whether that's you know, taking some of the day-to-day calls from our help desk, architecting projects and deploying them, or taking some sort of seat with cybersecurity and disaster recovery and backups. We handle a lot of those things. So if anyone has any questions for SWICKtech, certainly we'd be happy to answer those at some other point. Again, my name is Eric Clark. I'm one of our client success associates. I've been with SWICKtech for a little over 3 years, and running the meat of this presentation is Shane Kroening, who's also a client success associate with SWICKtech. One of the things I wanted to do real quick is just talk about, well, what is Microsoft Planner? I'm assuming there's folks in the room that do know what it is and are trying to learn more about it. There might be some that aren't entirely familiar, but may have heard of it and want to learn more. There's a wide spectrum of people in the room, so I wanted to just kind of set the tone here. Essentially, we've been running what we're calling Brain Food Event webinars for some time now, quite a few of them, I think almost one every other week in some cases. But we listened to our audience and attendees, and a lot of folks, when asked what they wanted to learn more about, it was Microsoft Planner. So we really couldn't ignore that, and we wanted to put something together that kind of helped explain what this is and walk people through it. Originally, it was from 2015, and it used to be called Office Planner. Microsoft Planner is a to-do app that comes with Office 365. So it's used for personal and teamwork planning, whether that's holding yourself accountable or you're managing a team. That's one of the ways you could kind of use it. It is a card-based interface, so very Kanban style, like think buckets of work. If you've used Trello, it's very similar, but it's within the Microsoft Office 365 ecosystem and Teams. So the integration is really beautiful. It is available for anyone with a paid subscription to Office 365, whether that's a personal subscription that you paid for yourself or an enterprise license that your company pays for. So it's really great to know that if you're paying for the subscription, you have it. Why you should use it. The learning curve is really not very steep at all, which Shane will demonstrate. There's just a lot to know and a lot of really fun nuances and things that you can dive into, but it is linked to your Office 365. So that's a really great thing when it's linked to your Active Directory and your other teammates and people in your organization. It is a great alternative to what might be more pricey project management software. So it could be a good way to solve some problems that you have in a short term or to save some money if you're already paying for it. And it's available across all devices. So I can use this on my iPhone, on my computer, on my tablet, a couple of different devices. And Microsoft is adding to it regularly, continuously. They're always improving it. I don't say daily, but I mean, maybe close to it. It's just constantly getting updates. So the agenda for today, we're going to talk about Planner Online, planner tasks in Outlook specifically, planner tasks in something called ToDo, interacting with those plans, and then integration into Teams. And a lot of what today is going to be is demonstration. So we're just going to show you all of this stuff rather than present on it. So we're happy to have Q&A along the way as a reminder. Shane, I'll let you take it from here.
Great, thanks, Eric. Yeah, let me go ahead and get set up here. Just before we dive in, I do want to alert everyone, obviously this is an online webinar. I'm going to be demonstrating Planner in a test environment, and I'm also sharing my screen with you, so I apologize for any minor hiccups that we might run into, but we'll go ahead and get started here. All right, so really first thing out of the gate, what we want to show you today is how to get to Microsoft Planner. Quickest and easiest way to interact with Planner is going to be from a web browser. So we'll go ahead and pull up Microsoft Edge here. And you have a couple of options. You can go to tasks.office.com and that will load just right into Microsoft Planner. Alternatively, you can go to the portal.office.com, which is kind of the landing page for all of Microsoft Office 365. This may look a little different than yours. They did just streamline and update this. So just as a quick example, here's what the current or older version is going to look like. And you can click on all apps and you'll see Planner here. In this new updated version, along the left-hand side here, you can go ahead and click this kind of square cube shape at the bottom left that shows all of your apps. And same thing, you're going to get Planner in the mix here. So if we go ahead and click
search for it too, right, Shane?
Yep, you can search for it across the top as well. Thanks, Eric. If you just type in Planner here, you'll get it right across the top. So all kinds of different ways to get to Planner. But here it is. We are signed into our Planner dashboard, or hub as they call it. And I just want to call out a few things here before we shift gears and show you a little bit about how to use it and interact with your tasks and plans. So, moving from left to right, you're going to have kind of a navigation pane on the left side. You can show and hide that by clicking that kind of hamburger menu up in the top left. Down at the bottom, you can grab the Get the Planner app for your mobile device. We're not going to show a lot about the mobile devices today, but we are going to kind of show you how to interact with plans and tasks in Planner, and then the mobile device offers kind of an easy supplemental way to access that information. So up in the top right, you'll also have some notification features, a settings menu, just like any other Office app, where you can change your theme out, you can adjust your language and notification settings, just simple settings across your Microsoft environment. And then if we go into just a plan here real quick, so let's click on this Mark 8 project plan. You'll see all kinds of detailed information here. I'm going to get into more of this later, but what you need to know right off the bat is there's a couple of different views for each plan. So across the top, you can see we're currently in the board view, and that's going to list just all of the details of every single task in this plan, along with who's assigned to it, due dates, and you'll see as we go here, there's a few more items you can show in this view. There's a charts view. So from the charts view, you're going to see that you can have kind of the different statuses, so you can see what tasks are late, maybe what bucket each task is in, and their priority. And then moving right along the views, you can also switch to a schedule view to view more of a calendar style for your plan to see when different items are scheduled to be completed. So if we switch back to the board view here real quick, you can also see in the upper right, there's a filter option and a group by option. You can manipulate both of these at the same time to kind of show you different details and specifics of tasks in a specific plan. So just a couple of good examples here. We can filter to just see late tasks. So if we click filter and then choose late, it's going to show us just the late tasks that we have. This is a great little quick way, maybe you're prepping for a meeting on this project and you want to just see what's not completed yet that should have been, so you can talk through it in the meeting. And then you can also group by who these tasks are assigned to. So let's say maybe you're having one-on-ones with folks and you want to see what tasks they have. Right now it's showing just late tasks, but we can turn that off to show you tasks by each individual person as well. So that's just a very brief overview of how you can kind of get around your Microsoft Planner Hub or boards and plans. And now we want to dive in a little bit more to specific aspects of it. So I want to show you a little bit about some efficient ways that you can view your tasks. So right from your Planner Hub on the left-hand side here, there is a My Tasks option. If you go there, you're going to see only tasks that are assigned to you. And now let's say you want to also view these tasks in your Outlook environment alongside your other calendars. We can go ahead and click this ellipses across the top, and you're going to see this option here, Add My Tasks to Outlook Calendar. So if we go ahead and click on that, this will most likely be set to unpublished for you if you've never done this before. But you can go ahead and click on Publish, and it's going to give you this option here to add to Outlook. So when we click that, it's going to actually open us up in our Outlook calendar. It's going to offer us the opportunity to change the name of this calendar. You can also adjust the color, add a charm. So we'll go ahead and add a green checkmark charm to this calendar. And we want to add it to my Calendar section over here on the left-hand side. So we can go ahead and click Import. That may take a bit if you have a handful of tasks, but you can see it synced right away. And now we have my planner tasks right in my Outlook calendar. This will sync to your Outlook app as well. So if we go down and open up Outlook on our computer and we choose the calendar here, you're going to see that Planner My Tasks calendar that we just created. And if you click on it, you can go ahead and pull up and see those tasks right on that calendar. You can also overlay it over your existing calendars in Outlook as well. So another great way to view your tasks in Microsoft's environment is through Microsoft ToDo. Eric alluded to this a little bit. Microsoft ToDo is a great little task app. So I've got it open here. You can add this from the Microsoft Store. It may already be automatically installed on your computer, depending upon the Office suite that you have. Microsoft ToDo is actually used to be called Wunderlist. Microsoft recently purchased it. So it's a very robust to-do list app. And you can see here, they have a handful of different lists already created. You can create new lists, all kinds of stuff in here. So
there were some questions before you get too deep into that are relevant to the calendar. The first one, I'm not sure if you'll have the answer or not, and if not, we can bookmark it and get a resource. But they said, if you're working on a project with a client, can the project plan be shared externally with them as well as internally with the project team?
So the way it stands right now with Planner is more of an internal task list. So, and we'll get into this more in a moment, but if we go into a specific project plan here, you can see there's 15 members. These are all people within the organization. And you can only add folks that are part of the organization to tasks and plans. Okay.
So we might want to try to find a way to answer that question or revisit that later. And then one more question, and I'll let you continue on your path. Will it also be added to the desktop version of the Outlook calendar? And I believe that answer is yes.
Yep, definitely. Yeah. So you can see here we've got it already added, and you can just click it to view it or turn it off. And my Outlook crashed, but you get the idea. So, all right, so back to Microsoft ToDo. So like I said, this is kind of a to-do list app. A great feature of it is it allows you to sync a lot of different tasks and to-do lists into one space. So you can actually see if this is the first time you've signed into Microsoft ToDo, it's going to give you some recommendations in this bottom left-hand corner. And that one that's popped up right now is create tasks from your planner assignments. That's exactly what we want, right? We want to see our planner tasks in our to-do list. So if we go ahead and click create, it's going to take a moment and sync our assigned to you tasks from Planner right here in Microsoft ToDo. If you don't have that quick create option in the bottom left, you can also click on your name in the upper left-hand corner and go to your settings. And there's a few things you're going to watch out for to make sure that's syncing in here. So if we scroll down to Smart Lists, you're going to want to make sure that your assigned to use Smart List is turned on and that the Planner app is a connected app. So if either of those are off, go ahead and turn them on. And then you should see your tasks assigned to you in your Microsoft To Do app. So moving back into Planner, we're going to actually kind of show you a little bit of the ins and outs of creating plans and tasks and how you can manage and handle them on a daily basis. So first thing up, we'll go ahead and create a new plan. So up on this left-hand menu, we're going to go ahead and click New Plan. We're going to create a plan to relocate our Contoso Chicago branch to Milwaukee. So we'll relocate the Chicago office plan, we'll name it. We want this plan to stay private for now so that only people that are part of the plan can see it, so we'll leave that. And then down in the options, you can add maybe a more specific description. So that people know a little bit more about the plan. So we can go ahead and click Create Plan. And what that's going to do is generate a plan right in our Planner app here. And it's going to take us right into that. So from here, you can see right now, I am the only member of this plan. And so let's add a few folks. So we can go click on members and we can say we want to add Megan. And let's include Diego in this plan as well. So just a quick note, now that we've created this plan in Planner, it's going to do a few things on the back end for us. A Microsoft plan in Planner is not just a plan, it's also a Microsoft Office 365 group, so you can have email correspondence. It is also a SharePoint site so that you can control files, and we'll get into that a little bit more later, and generate a Microsoft team for it. And then it also gives you a OneNote notebook. So just to show you a little bit about how that works, if we go ahead and click on this ellipses for our new plan and we click on Conversation, that's going to open up a page in our Outlook app, and you'll see right away that we've got a Relocate Chicago Office Plan group, and you can see the 3 members that I've added are in this group, and it also already sent out an email welcoming everybody to the Planner group. You can send an email from here right to the group, so I'm going to send a quick communication to the folks that I sent this to let them know I generated this new plan. So maybe I'll say, hi Megan and Diego, here is the new plan we talked about. Please don't share this until we are ready to tell everyone. All right, so I can go ahead and send that off, and everyone in the group is going to get that email. And so that's a great quick way to communicate with folks. You can see it right here in the group. A couple of other important notes about an Office 365 group. Outlook is going to be the easiest way to manipulate and manage some simple settings of this group. So things that you won't be able to do in Planner that you can do from Outlook are maybe add an icon for this or tweak the group settings a little bit more thoroughly. So if we click on this ellipses here, you're going to see we have a settings section for this group. We can go ahead and open that, and on the right-hand side, we're going to get some options. You can adjust how those emails are sending into the group. You can maybe connect some other apps and services, or we can go ahead and click on Edit Group here, and that's going to take us into the group name, the description, and some more details here. This is where you can also update that picture. So maybe we'll go ahead and upload a new photo for our Milwaukee office.
Shane, can you add a plan to an existing Microsoft Teams team?
Yes, and we will actually showcase that a little bit later on in Teams. But yep, you can generate a new team for a Planner plan, or you can add a plan to an existing team to show that plan once it's been created. So I'm just going to save this setting. Like I said, there's a few options that we can't edit in Planner, so I'm going to make those changes here in Outlook. So we can shift our gears back to Planner here. and we'll go to our relocate office plan. Let's go ahead and refresh this page just so that you can see it will update that icon, and you can see all of our members here as well now. So let's add a few tasks and just kind of interact with this plan to showcase a little bit about how it works. So right here, you can see it's kind of already awaiting us to have us enter in a new task. So I'm going to select a task, or I'm going to enter a task, sorry, to select 5 potential office sites for our new office. And let's set a due date for maybe a week from now for this one. And I'm going to get everybody involved in this. So we'll go ahead and click on assign Diego and Megan and Patty. And then once those are assigned, you can go ahead and kind of click off to get back to that task. And then you're going to click add task to actually officially add it to your board. So you'll see now it's in that to do bucket. And now that we've got this task created, we can go ahead and just click on it to open it up and allow us to change more settings. So from this menu, there's a lot we can do. We already assigned some members, but you could add some more folks by clicking there. You can adjust the bucket and the progress. So maybe we'll say this task is already in progress, and we'll leave it at medium priority right now. You could add a start date if you want. There's no need to necessarily, but maybe for tracking purposes on projects, you can include a start date. And then of course that due date you can update or change if you would like. We can add a description here, so you can include some more specific details if you would like. And we'll get into some more of these other options down below with some other tasks. But across the right-hand side, you can also add labels to your tasks. And we can name these whatever we would like. So let's go ahead and go through and name some of these labels. Maybe red is a high priority, yellow is medium, and green is low. And maybe we want to group these based on some types of tasks for this plan. So for blue, we'll relate everything that's a blue label to building tasks, and everything that's a purple label will be moving tasks. And pink can just be anything else, so we'll call that other. Once you've got those named, you can go ahead and hover over them and click the check mark next to them for what you want them to be related to. So this is, of course, a building task, so we'll choose that. And maybe we want to mark this with a label of high priority. So we'll go ahead and click those two. And you can see then when we close out of this task, you're going to see those labels and the in progress tab that I included right on the dashboard. You can also see that it looks like Megan has added a comment to this task for asking a question for what locations would be good. So I'm just going to let her know I've already started researching this maybe, so I'm going to let her know I'll update you with neighborhoods shortly. And we can go ahead and click send, and that's going to add it right into the task for Megan and Diego to see. So let's create another task while we're at it here. We're going to do a second task. You can go ahead and click add task, or you can just start typing in that enter a task name field. So let's say we want to make sure we talk to our IT team, or let's talk to SWICKtech about networking. We're going to go ahead and set a due date for this. Maybe this will be a couple weeks out. We want to make sure we get this done. And I think this is something for Megan. So I'm going to go ahead and click assign and add Megan to this task. And then I'm going to go ahead and add that task. We can go ahead and go into that task then, and maybe I want to make a checklist for Megan to know exactly what I want her to do on this task. So let's just include some tasks here. She needs to contact SWICKtech. We can go ahead and click enter to add that item and just keep going down the list here to add more checklist items. So we should provide them floor plans and schedule a visit. And then we should actually have the on-site visit to review the space. We'll want to confirm where the network closet is in our new office. And then we'll actually want to order the new equipment and maybe even schedule an install date. So you can see as I add these items to this task list, Megan can even already check parts of it off as she's done them. We can show these on the card, or we can not, and you can see when I click that, it automatically updates it here right on the plan card. And if we choose to show them, it's only going to show the items that still need to be checked off. So if you want to view the full checklist, you can click back into that task and view the entire task list. And it looks like Megan has also already commented on this plan or on this task, letting us know that we've got some good ideas for new technology. Let her know, go ahead and add them to the checklist. And that's a great, quick, easy way to keep track of things on this task, but not have it in email or a separate place. And then let's go ahead and jump back into that task real quick, and we'll go ahead and mark this as maybe a medium priority for now. And it's building related, so we'll go ahead and choose the building label and the medium label. And clearly Megan has already started on this task, so we'll go ahead and mark it as in progress. And let's give it a start date of today, since that's when we created the task. All of that's going to save automatically, so once you've got that up to date, you can close that and you're going to see that task information here. You can also notice this other task has been marked as complete, and so it's hidden. So if we want to undo that, we can go ahead and click on that task and adjust the progress to in progress, and it's going to send it right back into our bucket so that we can see that that task still needs to be worked on. So you can also attach images to different tasks. So if we go into this task, you'll see there's an attachment link here. That's a really great opportunity from a mobile phone to maybe take pictures and upload pictures into a specific task that you want to view later on your computer, as an example.
Hey Shane, for the chats that happen between coworkers through this platform, are those logged somewhere for future reference?
The comments within the task, or are you referring to the conversations in the group?
It wasn't specified, but maybe.
Okay, no worries. Yeah, I can talk about both. So you can see, definitely the emails are, and then actually right in Outlook in this group, you can see the comments that have been posted on tasks are posted as conversations or comments right in the group. So yes, those are logged directly in your Outlook in the Office 365 group. Cool, so now that we've got a couple of tasks here in Planner, let's just showcase a few ways that we can rearrange these a little bit. A great way to organize your tasks inside of a plan are these buckets that we've mentioned a few times. So you can change the name of this default to-do bucket to meet your needs. Maybe we have a couple of different categories that we want to lump these tasks in. So I'm going to call this one building, and let's go ahead and click on the right here to add a new bucket. And we'll add a bucket for equipment and another bucket for moving, and maybe one more bucket for communications about the new office. And it looks like it did not update my first one here, so I'm going to go back and fix that real quick. Okay, cool. So we've got our different buckets. So that's just another way you can kind of organize these. These are both fit into the building bucket, so we'll leave them here. But let's say we want to add another task to notify the staff, and we want that to be part of the communications bucket. We'll go ahead and click Add Task, and we'll title that task to notify the staff of relocation plan. And maybe this was something I was supposed to already do, so I'll mark it as a due date of today. That's my responsibility, so I'll assign myself to it. And we can go ahead and add that task. And then we can come into that task and we can adjust the priority to urgent because it was something that should have been done already, and we want to make sure we get that done as soon as possible. If you want, you can come in here and label it as high priority as well. All of the options to mark it as urgent or high priority.
When a task is completed, Shane, will it auto-populate on screen, or do you have to change that manually?
So when a task is completed, you're going to want to check off this little checkbox next to the task name. And you can see when we do that, it's going to go ahead and complete it and kind of hide it in this show completed section. And you can still view the task, but it will show it as marked off. If you unmark it, it's going to jump it right back up into your current tasks. Does that answer the question, Eric?
I think so. Thanks.
Cool. Yeah, of course. Just a real quick, easy way to change these labels as well. Once you have a task created, you can go ahead and click on this more options, and you'll get a handful of options to assign people quickly, copy the task, or change or add labels. And so you can mark them easily that way. So that's a little bit about how to create tasks. Just to give you an idea of what else you can do from the Planner Hub. If we go back to the Planner Hub, you're going to see your recent plans, and you can click to see all of the plans that you're a part of as well. So this will show you every single plan that is public or that you're a member of if it's a private plan. And then you can also favorite some of these plans. So for example, if we go ahead and click the star on this Mark 8 project plan, it's going to mark it as a favorite plan, and it's going to give us a real nice little dashboard here of where the tasks in that plan are at right in our Planner Hub. So that's a quick, easy way to see, maybe you have a couple of high priority projects that you're working on, and you can label them to see where their status is at and click into them a little bit quicker. So that's really the gist of the Planner Hub side. Now what we want to do is shift gears a little bit and show you a little bit more about the file integration with Planner, as well as how you can interact with Planner tasks in Microsoft Teams. So now that we've created this new task, the Relocate Chicago Office Plan, we can go ahead and click into it here, and you're going to see the tasks. And if we click on the ellipses at the top of the task, you'll see an option to go to the site for the task. So if we go ahead and click to open SharePoint sites, that's going to load this plan right in our SharePoint environment. You won't want to interact a lot in the SharePoint side of the environment, but it's a great spot to get started with your documents and generating Microsoft Teams. So down in the bottom left-hand corner of the SharePoint site, you're going to see this really convenient bubble that just popped up. Since this is a new plan and it doesn't have a Microsoft team tied to it, we can go ahead and click Create a Team. And that's going to generate a Microsoft team in our Teams app. So now that that is set up, we can go to Teams, and you're going to see real quick it already created a team for this plan. Now that we've got this team, it's going to automatically have a general channel, and we can, type comments to Megan and Diego to chat here about this. We can ask Megan and Diego to let us know about what they find for sites. So now that we've got this Microsoft Teams app, this Microsoft Teams team in our Microsoft Teams app, we can also tie files to this team or directly to the plan. So you can see across the top of our General tab here, there is a Files tab that's automatically created. And if we click on that, it's going to take a second to load this first time through. But you'll see now here's our general folder for this team or plan. There's a few different ways you can interact with these files. You can interact with them directly within Microsoft Teams here. You can click this sync button, which is going to sync those files down to your OneDrive. And so that's going to be kind of more like traditionally accessing files for your plan. And so you'll see under our Contoso, oh, it looks like it didn't actually sync. Let me try that again. There we go. Under this Contoso tab, you're going to see that plan now synced here. And any files you put in here are going to be accessible to that team, as well as part of that SharePoint site, and then ultimately accessible to the plan. So for example, let's go ahead and I created a spreadsheet related to our Milwaukee sites that we want to pick from. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up and make sure this is the most recent version of the spreadsheet before I add it to the team. So we'll open it up and it looks good. Looks like we've started adding some neighborhoods and different location options to this spreadsheet. So I'm going to close that out, and I'm going to go ahead and actually cut and move this document into our Relocate Chicago Office Plan team. So I'm going to go ahead and paste that in there. and now you can see it syncing, and with that green check mark, it is synced in that plan. So if we go ahead and go back to Teams, and let's just step away from this Files tab real quick and then go back into it, you'll see there is our site options spreadsheet. So now that that spreadsheet is part of our team, like I said, it's part of SharePoint. And so if we go back into Planner for a moment, we can go ahead and let's say we want to add that to this potential office sites task. We can click on that task and we can say we want to add an attachment from our SharePoint environment, and you'll see it's going to give us that general folder from the team right away. We can click into that and choose that spreadsheet, and now we can attach that spreadsheet straight into this task. So it's still only in one place. This is a great way to have your spreadsheet in your plan, but still make sure that you only have one version of that spreadsheet rather than have it on your desktop as well as in the team and then attaching it as a separate file. You can also see that it looks like Megan or Diego have gone in here and added some notes into the task. So it's cool that you can kind of see these live updates as we're going through and marking off these tasks.
Real quick, Shane, as we're on the SharePoint topic, someone had asked, how are the plans that are posted on SharePoint secured? Are they searchable via SharePoint, or can we only access them via Planner?
So they are going to be accessible in SharePoint, but only to people who are a part of that group. So you can see this is a private group, right? The Relocate Chicago Office Plan is a private group, and there's only 3 members. So it's going to limit only those people to seeing the SharePoint group. And then if you click on Documents in SharePoint on the left-hand side here, you'll actually see that same general folder that we created in Teams, and you can see that spreadsheet now that it's in here.
So very similar to Teams functions.
Yep, they're all going to look a lot alike. I just recommend that you modify those files in Teams or SharePoint as kind of your starting point to get them into the environment so that you don't end up with a bunch of versions of the same file in different places.
Okay. And then can you just show really quick again how you got to SharePoint from Planner? A lot of the screens look pretty similar, so just to help clarify.
Yeah, absolutely.
Browser tabs open. Thank you.
From Planner, and we can actually, we can close out some of these. So from your Planner board, once you're in a specific plan, so if we go to the hub, and let's say we want to go to the SharePoint site for this logistics project. So we'll go ahead and click on the logistics project plan, and then you can click on the ellipses across the top here, and you're going to get an option to go to the sites. So you can click on sites, and it's going to pull up that SharePoint site right in Microsoft SharePoint. Another great thing that you can see is you can modify these sites, right? So this is kind of like an intranet space. You can control some news about this project or group, all kinds of quick links you can add to stuff, maybe a team calendar. The list goes on. You can modify what this intranet looks like. And then just real quick to showcase you another way to sync those documents. If there's documents in a SharePoint site or a team, you can go ahead and click on Documents on the left-hand side here, and it's going to load up all of those documents, and you can click Sync across the top here, just like you would in Microsoft Teams. We can say, yes, we do want to open that, and that's going to sync everything right down to your computer again. So now you can see in our Contoso folder, we have got that Contoso team from SharePoint and that Relocate Chicago plan from Teams. And you can click into these and view the files, etc.
I don't want to derail you too much. I'll ask one more question, then I'll ease off on the questions for a little bit to gain your ground back here. But is it possible to view a percentage of work completed by a particular person for the year to assist in a work appraisal, if that makes sense? And you might be covering that at some point, so I just wanted to ask that question for you.
So that is a good question. I don't think so in Planner. You can, as I mentioned before, once you're in a specific plan, you can filter work by a certain person, right? So we can group by who these tasks are assigned to, and you can see all of the tasks related to an individual plan. But like as a manager or something, I don't believe you can go in and overarchingly see every task related to every type of plan for an individual. There may be a way to do so, but I'm not familiar with it if there is.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's go back to Teams a little bit now that we've added some files, and we'll show you how you can use Planner in Microsoft Teams. So now that we've got this team created, we've got the file uploaded, you saw we can have some communications here in this channel. You can also add your Planner plan right into your Microsoft team. So before I show you how to add one, let's just show you another example. If we go to some of these other teams, so this Mark8 project team, you'll see they have a go-to-market plan tied to it. And if we click on that channel, you'll see there's a couple of different plans listed across the top here. They've added all sorts of stuff here, but what we're specifically interested in are those planner plans. So if we click on that Mark8 project plan, you're going to see all those same tasks that we saw in Planner right here in Teams. And you can view it in board view. You can switch to chart view to see the different aspects, or sorry, the different statuses and buckets, and if tasks are late or completed. And then you can also shift to that schedule view that we mentioned earlier to view it in kind of more of a calendar layout. So you can also see this isn't a one-to-one relationship. So in our Mark8 project team, we have the Mark8 project plan. We also have the event plan tied to this go-to-market channel. And so if we click over to that one, you'll see the tasks related to that plan. And then also, if we go to this research and development channel, you can have the Mark8 project plan, that same plan, linked to this channel as well. So if you have different people that are accessing different teams, but are all maybe part of the same project, and you want them all to be able to see the project from their own team, you can tie it to multiple different projects. So how we do that is if we go back down to this Relocate Chicago team, we're just going to keep this one simple and leave just the general chat tab. You can go ahead and click this Add a Tab button, this plus sign across the top by the name. And that's going to give you a whole host of options. You can add all kinds of things here, but what we're interested in right now is Planner. So we'll go ahead and say create a Planner board. And you can create a new plan from here, or what we want to do is use an existing plan from this team. So we'll say existing plan. That's going to give us that Chicago office plan that we already created. And we can allow this to post to the channel that we've added it or not, but we can go ahead and click save, and it's going to take a quick second here. And it's going to give us that planner plan right across the top menu. So now that we've got our plan in Teams as well, you can manipulate the different tasks and aspects of the plan right from Teams as well. So for example, let's say we want to add a moving task. We'll go ahead and click Add Task, just like we did in Planner. And we'll say maybe we want to contract a moving company. And we want to get that done maybe by the end of September. So we'll go ahead and choose that. And this seems like something that's fit for Diego. So I'm going to go ahead and choose to assign Diego to this plan. If at any time maybe you realize that you need more people as part of a plan, you want to add other members, you can search for people that are outside of this group right here, but it won't find them, or sorry, it will find them. But it'll show you that they're a non-member. So if you want to add them as a member, you can go back into Planner. And if we go to the Relocate Chicago office plan and choose members, we can go ahead and add Alex as a member to this plan. And then from within Teams, when you go to edit that task and add members, you'll see once it syncs here, you might have to give it a second or refresh it. You will see Alex as someone that you can add to that task. There we go. So there's Alex. So there's a couple of different ways you can do that, but just know you can always add more members, and that's going to add them to the Planner plan, the Office 365 group, the SharePoint site, and so on. So now that we've created this, we can maybe label it as moving. And this is a little bit lower on the list, so we'll mark it as low priority. And we can save those changes. You can also see that someone else created a task in here. And so we got order moving boxes, and that's been assigned to me. You'll also see when that happens, you're gonna see a couple of things. So in the activity feed, we can see that Megan assigned me to a task. So you're gonna get a notification right in your activity feed in Teams. I believe you also will get an email. So you can see in my inbox that I've been assigned a task. And then you'll also get a chat notification from Planner saying that you've been added to a task. So all kinds of different ways to do notifications. You can update and adjust this as you see fit through Teams and Outlook and Planner to kind of control the noise level, so to speak. And then also you can see there that I have a task that is late, I believe it said. That might have been in Outlook where it showed me I have a late task. So once you miss a due date on a task, or if it's set for that same day, it's going to let you know you have a task due today. And then it will also alert you if we go ahead, and it looks like someone beat me to it. Oh, that's just another chat or another plan notification. But if we go into Teams and we go back into that Planner plan, and let's go ahead and mark one of these tasks as due yesterday. And we'll save that. You'll see in a moment here, we'll get a notification that we have a late task as well. And then you can also view that in the chart, right? So it's going to automatically update on the chart side to show you that you have a late task.
So there's a good question that just came through. So to ask, can you just use Microsoft Planner and not use Teams? It seems like a replication of the tasks.
Yes, you definitely can. The idea with Teams is that it's kind of more of a front-end hub for everything, though. So the idea here is now you have your Planner plan, you have just the general channel to communicate with other folks and access to files from that team. And then, you know, there's so much more to Teams, as we've shown in our other webinars, but you can do chat with folks through Teams. You can view your calendar, join meetings, make phone calls, access all of your recent files. So it's kind of more of just a hub for everything. It's a way to bring all of that together, but you can definitely use just Planner to view and edit your plans and tasks. There's no requirement to add a plan into Teams. And then just one other note, you have a Planner environment for just your tasks, and then you also have the plans that we've been playing around with that are for like a team of people or a group of people. So just to show that, if we click these apps on the side of Teams here, you're going to see Planner listed here. And this is going to show you all of your tasks. These are all the tasks that have been assigned to you, and it's going to show you the progress. You can adjust the filter and the group by as well to organize this however you prefer to view it. So it's important to note your Planner tasks for just you, you can see in Teams or from Microsoft Planner, right? So you can go to My Tasks here to view just your tasks, same thing. And then you can also view them based on the individual project or plan. So that's pretty much everything we've got for you guys today for Planner. Eric, are there other questions we want to jump in on, or?
We've done a good job so far answering them as we've gone. However, we just made a post here that we're going to get started with Q&A. So I suspect we'll see a couple come through and we'll spend some time answering them specifically. So one did come through. The webinar is good and detailed. Is it possible to get a recording? Sorry, that's my fault. That would have been one of the housekeeping items I missed. And the answer to that question is yes. We will send a recording out tomorrow as a follow-up.
Great. Great
question. Thanks for reminding me to mention that. We do have, we'll see if some more questions come through here. So here's another one. Can a manager view tasks for a specific employee? And I believe the answer there is yes.
Yep, so you should be able to, and it's not actually manager specific, it's just kind of across the board, anything that's public, folks should be able to view, or anything that you're a part of. So if we go back to our Planner hub here in Planner, we can go into a plan, and then you can group by who tasks are assigned to, so you can see everything that's assigned to specific individuals. This is going to be plan specific, not person first, right? So it's plan and then person, so you will have to go in to the individual plans to view them. Maybe an easier way to see that would be to favorite the plans or projects that you want to see, so that you can see when there's individual tasks that are late rather than just a specific person.
Okay, no other questions. Oh, here a couple more came through. So can you change the font size of Planner and Teams? That's a good question. I don't know.
Specifically in Teams or just in general?
Planner and Teams.
Okay, so not really. I believe you can zoom in and out though. So if you click Control and scroll with your mouse, or press the plus minus buttons on your keyboard, you can adjust the zoom, and that will increase the size of the details. I believe you can do that in Teams or Planner here, just like in the web browser, right? So we can shrink it down or increase it, but there isn't a setting to go in and specifically change the font size. You can also adjust the font size across your entire computer if that would be a way you want to do that. And I would just have your help desk or support team help you with that if you don't know how.
That's great. Let's see, looks like another one might have just come through here. We'll spend a few more minutes on them. So the question is, can we get comments included as one of the fields when we export Planner to Excel? Is there any viewpoint that we have on audit compliance on Teams as most actions, they are not logged?
That is a great question. If we export a plan to Excel, and it doesn't look like it gives us options, so it's just going to be kind of the bare bones. I think it'll show you, we're running into an error here, but let me just try and open that again real quick. So I think the answer is no, I don't believe that we can manipulate how it exports into Excel. Unfortunately, Planner is a bit limited in its like overarching project management capabilities. So it's just going to show you the very basic information, which I don't believe includes comments. Yeah, nope.
So someone asks, as a non-technology company that started using Teams, how complicated is it to implement Planner? Like I mentioned in the beginning, the learning curve is not too steep. Shane, what's your experience?
Yeah, I would agree. I think that it's really quite simple. It is just a matter of going into this Planner app and starting some new plans, and maybe making some of them public so the whole company can see, or adding the appropriate members so people can view them. I would say Microsoft makes it very easy, right? It's just click the new plan button, and then in Teams, if you're thinking, you want to generate some different teams, like we have the retail team here, the all company team, sales and marketing, you can also do that just by clicking join or create a team across the bottom. So they do a pretty good job. Assuming your IT team hasn't like locked this down or something, you should have the ability to go ahead and just start creating teams and plans as you need for your business.
Okay, a couple more for you here. Can Planner send notifications to owners when the task is overdue? Who's going to get that alert?
So that alert is going to go a few places. It's going to go straight to you, as I pointed out. So you'll get the task information, and then the other place it's going to go is into those groups. And I don't believe I have that feature turned on in this tenant, but you can control it so that you'll get notifications to the group when there's a task that's late. So the owner or manager in question here could just be a part of this group, and then they would just have to hop into this group mailbox to see those notifications. As far as notifications go, to like send you a direct alert, I don't believe that there's a way to manage that unless you're a part of that task. You're not going to get those alerts. So I guess another option to do so, even if you're not working on the task, but you include yourself, right? So if contracting this moving company task, I can go ahead and add myself into that task, and now I'm going to get alerts when it's late, when it's due, all that sort of stuff.
So you might want to be on everything then if you're in that position. That makes sense. Okay, this one's a little bit longer. At least it looks longer as I read it on the screen here. But would you say that Microsoft ToDo is the best way to consolidate your task list and have everything at the tip of your fingers, or would you be more apt to use Planner on the web?
Ooh, that is a great question. I think there are definitely different aspects. So I think the Planner on the web thing is great for interacting with the individual plans, which you can do from the web or from Teams. I do believe that Microsoft ToDo is a great space to organize all of your tasks, because you can see you can get all of your planner tasks here that you're a part of. You can get flagged emails. So if I go into Outlook and into my inbox and say I want this important email from Alex to be flagged, I can mark that, and that's going to show up in my to-do. It might take a minute here to sync. And then you can also have a My Day to-do list, and you can create all kinds of other new task lists. So I think to-do is probably a good place for your individual tasks, because then it's not limited to just your plan tasks. Just another note, and I'm not sure if the notification is still showing, but you may have seen when I went into the plan earlier, Microsoft is posting a notification. It looks like it is gone now. But they're posting a notification in Teams to let you know that soon they are linking Planner and your Microsoft ToDo to be a little bit more cohesive. So that task list where we have just a separate assigned to you list here will be a bit more baked into your Microsoft ToDo environment. And the idea there is it should just make it easier to manage all of your tasks from one place.
That's great. I think we have time for, I'll do one more. We have about 3 minutes. We had just one or two other things on the presentation side. So a refresher, how do you open Planner in calendar mode?
Planner in calendar mode. Yeah, okay. So if we go back into Planner, so the piece of Planner that you can sync to your calendar is your own tasks. So if we go to my tasks on the left-hand side here, and click this ellipses at the top, you're going to get that option to add your My Tasks to Outlook calendar. And then you choose add to Outlook, and it will go ahead and link it to your calendar here so that you have your planner tasks. And you'll see as I open this, and now that I've got more tasks on my plate, it's going to start. It might take a minute to sync them here, but you should start to see more of those tasks populate here.
Okay. I feel bad not getting to other questions, so I do want to ask two more because there's time. In the calendar view, can you see all the projects at once?
Nope, this calendar view is going to be just your My Tasks. Okay. You can go into an individual plan and then go to the schedule view to view all the details for that plan. And they did at one point have an ability to sync a plan as a calendar, but unfortunately it's no longer available. I don't know if they'll be bringing that back later or not, but right now there's no way to do that.
Okay. Is it possible to transfer and copy tasks between different boards?
Good question. So if we go to a board here and we go ahead and just say copy task, yep, there we go. So you can see you can change the name of it right away, and then you can choose what plan it's a part of. So it is going to allow you to pick and choose. Maybe we want to add a copy of this to the Relocate Chicago office plan, and that's related to equipment. We can go ahead and click copy, and then you'll see that over on that other plan right away too.
Official last question, and then we'll have to stop with the questions. Unfortunately, and I'm so happy to see that there are so many coming through because there's obviously a thirst for knowledge here. How do you open the ToDo app on your computer? Someone said they're only seeing the 365 web app.
Yeah, so if you don't have the To-Do app, you can get it from the store right on your computer. You can access that from your start menu. You can see it, I have it here, or you can just start typing in store to get to the Microsoft Store app. And then once this loads, and you'll have to get signed in and everything if you've never used this, but you can go ahead and type in Microsoft To Do, and then you just click Get.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
It looks like Ryan had just shared a link to our next event, and I'll just quickly showcase what we have going on. So if anybody is interested, we already did questions, sorry about that. We do have a number of webinars that are on demand. So you can go to SWICKtech's website under resources and look at past webinars, and you can see what other webinars we have, which ones we have upcoming as well. And then additionally, we have on our resources tab on our website a whole mess of tutorials around Teams, Office 365, Azure, Fortinet, of a number of things. We really look at some of those questions come from webinars like these. So now that we have all of these questions from everybody, we are probably going to make a whole bunch of tutorials by chopping up this video or doing additional ones. And we look at what comes through our help desk from the clients that we do serve to look for common threads of where people might have questions. So we really try to inform and help answer a lot of questions that we see in the marketplace here in the greater Milwaukee region. So just some great resources there for anybody that wants to learn more or see some other things that they might be able to find helpful from our website.
Great. Thanks, Eric. Well, thanks everybody for joining us today.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day and enjoy the rest of your week.